even though things didn't go the ideal way back in the day, there's got to be so many lessons learned, you know. And even though the music industry, it's totally revolutionized now than maybe when you were going through those phases now, you know. What do you think the lessons could be learned, or what would you say to like any individual that is young and you know pursuing music? What would you say to them, even with a revolutionization or anything like that?
Well, it's not the same as when I was a kid, because when I was a kid and growing up and learning music and playing music, the radio stations were all owned by American families. There was a 777 rule. You could own 7 a.m., 7 FM, and 7 television stations, which kept it in the family hands. There was moms and dads, grandpas and grandmas that had moral conscience over what our children saw and heard in this country. And in 1996, under the Clintonistas, they deregulated the FCC. They took the family, they took the patriotic heart, they took that conscience for our children out of television, out of radio. That was the most important thing that happened. Um, my brothers and sisters who are musicians coming up in the business, it's because you got a talent that you're there in the first place. You might love music, but if you got a talent, then give love an increase with that talent. Do it for love and pursue the love. Don't pursue anything else. Just pursue your heart in that music, and because you're not going to have the same platform that I had. I could walk into WTAC in Flint, Michigan, and ask Bob Dell, the DJ, can you please play this? We just drove from Nashville all night to get here for your morning show. Can you please play this 45 acetate of the Harlem Shuffle? He took that disc, he put it on a spindle, put the needle on, dude. That's how it used to be, but that is gone. Those days are gone. But that's a true story, and it's a fairy tale almost for musicians to know that you could walk into a radio station, hand them your record, they'd put on a spindle and play the thing.
Yeah.
They'd
Oh yeah.
dance. They'd see what the people around that were listening had to say about it. How did they like it? That's how it got started. So in '96, when the corporate conglomerates took over, Brother Nathan, all of that personality, all of our disc jockeys that kept our communities informed and kept us together. He could recognize, or she could recognize your voice because they heard it so many times on that phone when you were calling in requesting songs.
Yeah.
Oh, it's you, Susie. What do you want today? It's like, we were a community. We lost our community. We lost the orchestration of our community. We're still here because the brothers and sisters, my brothers and sisters, musicians, still got the talent. They still pursuing, but because of the disenfranchise of what happened with radio and television, it's hard to say, well, let's just release it. Let's throw it up on YouTube and see who salutes it. You can't do it that way. I mean, some people have made it very successfully, but they've had some logic and some kind of promotional stuff behind them, using the internet, I'm saying, as a tool to market their music. It's about the only option, because all the record labels, most of them are gone. They're under, and the new ones that are out, they don't know what the heck they're going to do. Everything's up in the air because of this whole COVID deal at this point. But I would say to my brother and sister musicians to hang with your craft and pray to God that you can use it to set somebody free, to make somebody happy, to put a smile on somebody's face. Get into that, and don't pay any attention to the man behind the curtain who's pulling all these levers and got all these wars going, all this distraction. Pay attention to your heart. Your heart's good.
Right. And just to knock off that, you know, the record labels, it's revolutionized so much. People are just independent now. You know, they can release things on Spotify or the, you know, all the streaming platforms, and can be just as an individual. They don't have to be signed. I mean, music is completely saturated. Instead of having your vinyl of 18 minutes of just pure, just absolutely amazing music, it's at millions and millions of songs are at your fingertips now. It boggles my mind. I am trying to have that conversation, just try to figure out, you know, the values lost or received, you know,
Yeah,
and that's just in itself, you know, you can't replace the physical form and that appreciation of just like 18 minutes and then the work it takes to take it off, put it away, you know, it's the process.
yeah.
And now it's just, hey Siri, can I it does it for you, man.
You hit the nail on the head, brother. Really.
uh,
So many people. That's why vinyl is coming back so strong, I believe,
it
because
is.
you got that whole big outfit to put all your words, your pictures. You can tell a story. You can put a fold out. There's a lot that's missed, as you mentioned, brother. You know, people really, they used to take good care of that record, and you know, they had their everything in a stack. They had a D-static thing that you ran and turned the turntable on, and you put this thing down, and you know, it was a craft just to get it to play. You had to know some stuff, and then sit back and listen to that coming out of those grooves, man. I love that analog sound of that disc spinning with a needle on it. Uh, my friend calls it a grinding wheel, because you're grinding off the plastic every time you play it. You're taking a little bit more. But man, that is a romance that was developed back then that is lost, as you said. Today it's just like push a button, eh?